Morning, everyone. We are headed down to Free Comic Book Day sale at Nuclear Comics in Laguna. They do a giant sale every year where basically all the boxes they have outside, every book in there is 33 cents because it's 3 for a buck. Or 33.33 to infinity, whatever you want to call it. But 3 for $1 sale down there, and all the Free Comic Book Day books that are coming out today, May 4th. May the 4th be with all of us too, right? And I'll catch up with everyone when the day's over, and we'll get into what's inside those boxes. All right, everyone, let's get into this haul. I got almost a full short box of stuff for a little over $30. And I wasn't lying when I was saying that this was an insane deal on Free Comic Book Day. Let's get into it and see what I got. Let's start with the free comic books first. And I'll show you which ones I picked up. There was a few more that I wanted, but I wasn't able to grab them because I didn't have any more of them when I eventually got around to looking at the free comics. First one I got was this Mad magazine. Is just awesome. I'm actually really excited to read this because I loved Mad as a kid. But anytime you see super nipples, right, you're going to get it. Blood Hunt #1 is supposed to be the big event for Marvel for the summer. It looked really interesting. I really liked the cover art. Jed McKay writing and Sarah Pacelli, I guess, drawing and inking it. So that looks interesting. I like Popeye #1, this classic superhero landing smash cover. I love Popeye. It's just, and this looks very like, uh, anime inspired. So it looks interesting, to say the least. Johnny Quest, another show I loved as a kid, and I never read the comics when I was a kid in the 80s, but I've started to now, and I really enjoy them because they're fun and kind of silly and campy, and I love that. And then Conan, Battle of the Black Stone. I don't know why people are really excited about this one, and this one's struck me as a little odd when I grabbed it, because when I grabbed it, I picked it up and I felt there's a third staple in this book. So this is a triple stapled one, but I want to start reading the newer oversized editions of Savage Sword of Conan. Figured this might be a good place to kind of jump on, and when I find one of those new oversized editions of the new run, I'm going to pick one up, at least one that's in good condition, because every time I see them, they look pretty trashed. But that's the free comic books I got. Excuse me. Have a little drink of coffee here. All right. All of these next books were wall books, not wall books, I should say, newer books, but they were all on sale for $1, so it's kind of hard not to pick them up. This absolutely insane zombified Stormbreakers variant by Lucas Werneck was fantastic. Let's just put them all down. Supergirl Special #1, Rad Frank Cho cover art. My wife loves Supergirl, so that's why I got that. Mace Windu, A Mission Before the Rise of the Separatists and the Clone Wars. I like how they had to put all of that on the cover. Seems a little unnecessary, but you could have just called it Mission Start or something like that. It would have been a little bit less wordy than this, but that was a great cover, so I had to pick that up. Nightwing 107, fantastic Delato cover. Almost anything of his I like and enjoy. My wife loves Nightwing, so I got that one. And then Vengeance of the Moon Knight #3. This is the only issue that they had out for the $1 of the newer stuff. I would have liked to pick up #2 because I have tons of #1, a bunch of variants and stuff like that. But so I got #3, and now I just got to hunt down #2. And pink, I love pink, so another reason I picked that up. All right, now all of these books were 33 cents each, every single one of them. So it's a little insane. Once I get to the bottom of the pile, you're going to be like, what? 33 cents? You'll see. I'm working on finishing this run, Man Thing #2 by R.L. Stine. I'll just grab a bunch of these. I bagged and boarded some of them, but I wasn't able to get to all of them yet. These just fantastic timeless variants by Alex Ross, right? 33 cents a piece. I looked for more of them, but these are the only two I could find. Dr. Doom and Venom. Dinosaurs for Hire. I'm working on finishing up that run, and my Deadly Class run too. Because if you haven't read it, this is one of the best comics written in the last 15 years. And I'll stand by that. I mean, Rick Remender, anything he does is awesome. But it's just such a fantastically written story, and the panel work
is like so creative. It's like an art form to itself. You have to check it out. Number 9, number 9, number 12, number 17, and number 54. Spider-Man manga number 29. A magazine for the incurably insane. This is Dark Horse. Obviously, it's a rip on X-Men and Godzilla because this is Claudzilla right here. It's kind of silly. I had to pick that up. If it's weird, I'm gonna grab it. So cool little Usagi on the back right there. All right, next stack here stuff. Youngblood number 2, First Prophet. A lot of people think that the green and the pink, they're variants. That if you don't know, that there's a pink trade dress right here instead of the green on the top, and they think that one is more valuable than the other, but they're both exactly the same because they were printed in the same amounts, so it doesn't really matter which one you get. I find the green way more than I find the pink, but that's just me. Movie in the works on that. It's supposed to be Jake Gyllenhaal producing and I think starring. Savage Dragon number 23, just a awesome pink cover. Savage Dragon 24, another awesome pink cover. 66, 78, a lot more pink on that one too. All right, Doom Patrol 55. Simon Bisley is one of my favorite artists, so anytime I see a cover that he does that I haven't picked up, I'm getting it. I don't have this one yet. 55. I don't have this one yet either. 56. Spectre. I'm working on completing this run as well, especially when I can find them for 33 cents a piece, right? And I got a lot of them. So 24, 25, 28. That one's awesome. It's like haunting. 33, 34, 38. This is him just puking out souls on a lighthouse, it looks like. 39, 41. Awesome Olivetti cover. That's gorgeous as well. 44. Got all those crows. It's a murder. And 45 with the biggest mechanical spider you've ever seen. That's those. All right. I did not have this previews for the newest Moon Knight run, so I was excited to get that. It's in decent shape, so whatever, that's just personal. I'm trying to get every cover of every comic that Moon Knight is on, and I did not have this original Sin variant edition. Fallen Angel number, what is that? Looks like 15, but an homage to Action Comics number 1. I pick those up when I see them too. Crawl number 1, Crawl number 2. I have like 10 of these because it's pink, right? Werewolf by Night number 3. This is a difficult run to find all the issues in. Actually, the Strange Tales, Werewolf by Night. Some of them are worth a pretty good. One of them for sure is worth a decent amount of money, $10 to $15 for sure. But I mean, when you find them, they're usually kind of beat. So got that one. Alpha Flight number 17. This is a. I picked one of these up recently too. This is a guest starring cameo of Big Hero 6. The Sumerian number 3. Awesome homage to that Wolverine. What is it? 44? I don't remember the number 24. I'm confused. I'm bad with Wolverine numbers, but that's an homage to that. It's pretty great. Just a beautiful Brooks cover for Detective 824. It's awesome because you don't really see Penguin looking menacing much, and he looks kind of menacing there, but also about to get his ass kicked. Madballs versus Garbage Pail Kids. I have a variant of this, like a Virgin variant. It doesn't look like this. It's actually different artwork, Virgin variant, but I wanted to find the cover A. I think this is the cover A, but I love both of those from when I was a kid. Who doesn't, right? Maniac of New York, Don't Call It a Comeback, number 1. If you have not read the original Maniac of New York, you should. It's awesome, especially if you love 80s slasher movies, Jason, any of the slasher films, not just Jason, but it's fantastic. It's a great read. Shadow of the Bat, number one, it's first appearance of Victor Zaz, right? But I don't think I've ever come across a sealed one other than when I bought it originally and it was sealed. So I was kind of stoked to find a sealed one. Moonshine number one, another fantastic read. MST3K, the comic. And I love this that Crow's reading this Tom Servo comic on the cover, and it's obviously an homage to old Dell comics, Dell Teen comics, but it's Bell instead of it. But uh, it's great. That's fantastic. I love MST3K. All right, here we go. Another stack. All right. Lore. I have no idea what this is about, but it's Ashley Wood art. I recognized it right away, so I was kind of excited to read it. And it's pretty thick too. This looks like it's like a double issue, so I want to check that out. Firestorm number 23, First Felicity Smoke, I think that is. Firestorm number 35, First Weasel. Firestorm number 38. This is maybe like the second or maybe like the third Weasel, I think, but it's pink and it's got Weasel on the cover, and he looks way cooler than he ever has, I think, in any other incarnations because he doesn't look this strong ever. Zombie World 4 of 4. This is just a crazy looking, zombified looking, I don't know, nuts looking cover. So I had to get it. It 30 cents, right? The Tick Karma Tornado. This is just a great. It reminds me of like a old Marvel bag and boards kind of thrash or whatever. Old Marvel, like something that Kirby would have done for Galactus or something, but of course in the Tick fashion where he's driving a car down. Barbaric number 2, and this is the undressed cover, and it's still sealed in the poly bag. And I'm debating whether to open it or not to see, or if somebody's maybe a big fan and they're looking for a sealed copy, I'll sell that one. Turbo Kid number 1. I don't know why I've started collecting decapitated head covers, and I thought this one was just like too good to pass up. Based on the movie, if you haven't seen that movie either, watch it. I have number 1 of this versus. So I got 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I was going to buy these for like $1 a piece a while ago. I'm glad I waited because, I saved a bunch of money on that. Bubba Hotep and the Cosmic Bloodsuckers, number 1. This is one of the most funny, satire-filled movies you'll ever see. It's called Bubba Hotep, and this is a series that was based on the original movie. You should 100% watch it, especially if you're a fan of Army of Darkness, Evil Dead, and or Bruce Campbell, because Bruce Campbell plays Elvis in it. You have to see it. It's fantastic. Check it out. And I got a variant cover for that one as well. And I like this one more. It's just pretty rad. Yeah, that was great. All right. Next little stack here. Here we go. Put those ones back. Jeepers Creepers, number 4, number 4, number 4, number 5, and number 5. And this is just I have this already. I have actually all of these already. I love this cover though. This is like one of my favorite covers out of the whole run of this. They did multiple, I think there's 4 variants for each book, and then virgins and sketch editions or whatever. But if you ever see Jeepers Creepers comics, pick them up because people are hunting these because I think they were very, very low print. Anytime I see them, I grab them. I don't care what they are because honestly, I found a lot of them, probably about 30 books in a short box that I paid like $50 for. And I turned around and sold the majority of those Jeepers Creepers books, except for the ones that I wanted to keep for a set for myself, for well over $150 because they're just, I guess, unbelievably hard to find. So if you see them, pick them up. They're worth it. Still working on that Man Thing run. So it's number 5. This is really interesting. This is from the late 70s. 79 is when I was born. So Gene Day's Black Zeppelin, I got number 1. Number 2, pretty nuts looking alien cover. Number 3, number 4, and number 5. I have no idea what it's about, but I kind of want to check it out and see. Harley Quinn number 1. People always want this one too if you're looking for Harley books, right? So this is Ugly Stories, or Beautiful Stories for Ugly Children, excuse me. And this is the last issue of this run. And people who are trying to get this whole entire run, this is the hardest book for them to find because I guess it was pretty low print. I've come across a couple of these now. This is maybe the third or fourth one, but this is a $20 book all day, especially for people who are trying to put together that run. And for people who are trying to buy that whole run, that's like $300. I don't know why. I guess it was pretty low print, especially towards the later one as well. I've said that a lot, low print or whatever. War Bears, this got optioned a while ago, and I think people kind of forgot about it, but I think it's a good pickup for 30 cents a piece, especially when I got 1, 2, 3. I got 4 of them, but I just found out that one of them kind of had this bent cover, so it's kind of a bummer. Big giant dog ear right there, but that's okay. I'll give that one away or something like that. Unfollow. This is another one that got optioned. This is a $5 to $10 book all the time too. It's supposed to be a fantastic story from what I've heard. I think it went like 20 issues or something like that. So maybe that's a future read as well. But pick that one up if you see it too. All right, let's get into this next stack right here. Okay. Judge Dredd. I'm working on this run as well. I'm working on a lot of runs. I should say that a lot too. Judge Dredd number 2. Number 3. Fantastic Brian Bolin covers. And I think this one might be one of my favorite ones in the entire run. Number 4. Look at the just insane detail on that. It's so good. Yeah, I think that might be my favorite, but it's such a great cover. Dark Horse Presents number 100, 2 of 5. This is a Bernie Wrightson cover. Bernie Wrightson doing Hellboy, and people are always looking for this Bernie Wrightson cover. I don't know if this was kind of low print as well, but Bernie fans, they're hunting that one. Dark Horse Presents number 89. This is not the first. I don't know. Maybe it's the first in Dark Horse that they started in Dark Horse Presents that they started posting. What am I saying? Publishing Hellboy stories in there. I don't remember off the top of my head. Secret Wars 2, fantastic, 30 cents, right? Lady Rawhide 3 of 5, fantastic Adam Hughes cover that people are always looking for, right? Because everyone loves Adam Hughes. Alien Legion number 1. I've been wanting to read this, and I know my boy Scruffy Nerf Herder is looking for this too. So if you watch this, man, hit me up. I got a number 1 for you. Hercules, Twilight of whatever that is. I don't know, but that's the reason I grabbed it right there. People are looking for that book as well with all the Silver Surfer female casting news. Ryan number 1. I know a lot of people don't really enjoy Valiant, but I do. I like a lot of the early Valiant stuff, so stoked to have that one. Plus, I think it's like a $10 book. All right. Scud, the Disposable Assassin, basically a robot assassin. If you haven't read any of this, you should. Rob Schrab, he's written a lot for TV. He did stuff with, forget the guy's name. He plays the dean on Community. If you've never watched Community, you should because it's hilarious. But I think he co-wrote that with him. But he's also written tons of other stuff for TV. But this is a fantastic read. But I was very excited to find these because their first printings. They did later printings, I think, with a different publisher because I'm not sure Fireman Press was still in business later on. But this was uh, a great find for me. I'm stoked to have these. Even I'm missing number 1 and number 2, and then I'm also missing number 4 because it goes from 3 to 5. But I love the art style on this. It's weird and funky. And one of these you'll see in just a second here is worth a considerable amount of money. Um, this oops, weird shifted in there. Number 6, number 7, number 8. Great cover. It's just like put together with all these like weird parts. And number 9. And if you ever come across this for cheap, pick it up because this is the very first action figure variant comic before all the other ones that were made for Star Wars and anyone else who's they did one for a lot of the Marvel titles and stuff like that, but this was the first one. So this is like a $50 book all day long. Like people hunt this one specifically, and it's pink. So I'm going to pick up the pink ones. Number 10, Scud the Spaceman, and number 11. I forget what number this went to, but not that much higher than this, I think. Good tip if you want to read it, you can buy the compendium of Scud, and I think it's like $40, and it's well worth it because it's fantastic writing. All right. We're getting into the nitty gritty here. We got probably about 10 to 15 books left. Evangeline, this got optioned, and who would have thought that this, of all the things, would have gotten optioned, right? But apparently, Margot Robbie is interested in playing this role and helping fund the movie or something like that. So I got 1, 2, 3 of those. Well worth it for 30 cents a piece. Protoculture Addicts. This is the official Robotech fanzine, fan published, right? It's not official by Robotech in any way, but this is the second printing. And Robotech, if you're not familiar, is like Gundam, is like, you want to say it's the precursor to like Voltron, all of those things, even though they were similar time frames, right? Basically, giant robots that you get inside to fight each other and evil creatures and stuff in space. That's what Robotech is. And Gundam and anything else that kind of came afterwards too, like Neon Genesis, Evangelion, and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, this Robotech has like diehard fans, like super super diehard fans. It's a very like niche thing, but I guarantee you, someone out there is like looking for a fantastic looking copy of this in the second printing because they have the first. So I couldn't really pass that up. They had some other later issues too, and I don't really know if they're worth. I don't know if this is worth anything, but it just seemed like a great, fantastic, like buy for 30 cents. You know, someone's going to really be stoked to find that. Judge Dredd number 1. I have this already, but mine is a kind of mangled copy, and this one looks pretty darn good. Stoked. That's a $50 book all day. Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter number 1. This one's a little beat, but it's number 1. And you probably saw a little glimpse of that. That's the first Mr. Sinister. It's pretty beat, but someone will be stoked to have that in their PC. It's got torn up edges right here, but it is, I opened it, and readable and complete. All right, last couple books here. Last 3 books. Number 1, Jonah Hex number 1. This was an unbelievable find because it's in fantastic shape. And these last 2, Bad Planet number 6. This is the last cover that Dave Stevens ever did, I should say. People are going nuts for Dave Stevens right now, and I found not one but two of these for 30 cents. So I came up big time. Super excited about that. That's a great find. And that's it. Crazy haul from Free Comic Book Day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. And until next time, keep digging.